What's going on, guys? My name is Zach Longo, and today we have a special episode. I have with me the Willy Wonka of coffee, the owner of LaMille Coffee brand.
Hi, my name is Craig Min from LaMille.
Craig is going to teach us how to make the perfect pour-over coffee.
A lot of people think it's really tough to do, but it's actually quite simple. I'm a step ahead. I had just boiled some water here. So what I'm gonna do is always start with fresh, cold filtered water, bring it to a boil, and I'm actually gonna pour into my gooseneck kettle here.
And the quality of the water obviously affects the taste
It's
of the
huge.
coffee, right? We're not using LA tap water.
Yeah, coffee's 98% water, so it's actually the main ingredient. So we have a reverse osmosis system here, which actually remineralizes the water because pure RO water is too clean. And so this water has ran through our system. We brought it to a boil, and now we're gonna do a preheat. So we're gonna wet this filter, wet the ceramic cone, bring everything up to temperature, as well as get this papery aroma out of the paper.
There we go.
You'll see what I'm talking about. If you smell that, doesn't it smell like paper?
Yeah, a little bit.
So this kind of purges the flavor of the paper, as well as that smell. I'm starting with 29 grams of coffee, and we're gonna produce about 16 and a half ounces. It's actually exactly 16. I'm gonna bring this to my grinder, pour in.
That's a fancy grinder. Can you over grind beans? Is that such a thing?
Not really. It's just getting the right grind is really tough, just because it has everything to do with how quickly the water will travel through the grounds, which will affect the flavor of it. And so having kind of the right particle size is very big. So here you can see it's almost like
It's
a very even kind of smaller particle texture.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's like baking bread or baking cakes, right?
Look at this system, guys. Looks like we're making crystal meth or something.
We are gonna tear the scale. I'm gonna initiate the brew cycle. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour in 40 grams of water. I have 29 grams of coffee inside of this basket. The first round, what we're trying to do is just pre-wet or pre-infuse the coffee. We're kind of opening it up. When it gets, so right now we're at 20 seconds. When it gets to 25 seconds, I'm gonna pour in 20 more grams of water.
A lot of numbers go into this coffee. I might do my taxes next.
We have instructional sheets too, so it
we need
helps
the play-by-play.
Yeah.
The recipe, guys.
I'm gonna wait another 20 seconds, and then I'm actually gonna do my first pour. Like all up to now, I'm just kind of getting the coffee ready and getting it warm.
How do you make coffee at home? Would you use the pour-over method, or?
I have a lot of different gadgets at home to make coffee. However, this is definitely
definitely not the Keurig.
This is definitely one of the ways I do like to make coffee.
I started seeing this method a lot more in coffee shops in LA now.
Yes.
And you always see them lined up.
One thing that's nice when you see this method is that the coffee is being prepared fresh and it's being made to order. It's usually ground right before they make it, so it's pretty much like the best start-off experience that you can have with coffee. Whether they make it properly, that's a different...
Right? And how much coffee are we gonna get out of this?
16 fluid ounces, so it's about 2 cups.
What are you gonna drink?
All right, so we finished at 475 grams, which also equals milliliters.
Okay.
It equates to 16 ounces.
The temperature of this water affect it? Like, can you have it too hot?
Absolutely. So off of boil, water is 212.
Okay.
Ideal brewing temperature is anywhere from like 199 to 202, kind of in that range. How I brought the temperature down was I started with a cold kettle. Okay. And so off a boil, poured in, temperature was probably at about 205 right before I was ready to pour, so we're kind of right in range of extraction temperature.
How old are you when you started drinking coffee?
12 was my first cup, and that's actually...
Why so late?
And I didn't grow either, I just lost all my... Growth spurt went by.
Same thing happened to me. No coffee.
Just kind of a quick mix, because the lighter brew settles at the top most of the time. And so this coffee is called Layo. It's from Ethiopia. Okay. So it's a natural processed coffee. It'll have a lot of fruit, a lot of depth, a lot of body to it. It's a Bourbon varietal. And so like the tasting notes are berries, cream, cocoa.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Wow, that's amazing. It's so tasteful.
So sometimes I'll do it straight into like a travel mug or something and just
Why not? Yeah.
cap it
you
and
can
go,
take that
right?
whole
And
thing
so,
for
yep,
the
you
road,
can
right?
It's a good amount of coffee for one person.
You ever drink espresso martinis?
It's one of my favorite. We'll actually have
Me
to
too.
do. I'll have to
too.
make you an espresso martini.
Oh
It's
my
a
God, I
pretty.
can't wait.
It's one of those where you just can't have one.
Yeah.
By the time you're finished, you're
That's
just
my
like,
go-to drink.
Need to call Uber.
Yeah. Well, I didn't drive here today, so.
But I'd be happy to make you some espresso martinis.
Wow.
Could be a fun one.
Good thing I asked. Well, how long have you been in the coffee business? Is it like a family business, or did you start this venture on your own?
It was a family business. I learned how to roast when I was 12 in 1992, and just all throughout my teen years after school, I used to come to the roastery and just hang out and really kind of want to be around it. And I discovered the roasting aspect of it and really fell in love and just kind of grew up in the factory. And in 97, started La Mill.
What does the name mean?
It used to be La Mill, like the mill,
Yeah.
because coffee's processed at a mill. And we just got a little bit tired over the name and just put them together. It's going to be called La Mill.
Yeah.
It's a really, really
100%.
fun, engaging place.
It goes hand in hand. I'm tired of having shitty Starbucks coffees. I'm like, gotta set a higher standards for ourselves, people.
It's the quick fix, right?
Yeah, no more frappuccinos. We're done. We're better than this. Extraction method number 2 today. We're gonna do
French press. I mean, it's probably the most widely used method at home.
Yep.
But I think oftentimes it can go off the rails very quickly if you don't know what you're doing. So,
Mom, pay attention.
we're going to make 20 ounces of coffee. We're using 36 grams. And so the important thing with this method is a lot of it's about the grind. Getting sure that you have more of a coarse grind, so larger particle size.
So you don't get those little bits in your teeth and you're sipping. I hate
You're
that.
not drinking all the coffee
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
Right? So I'm going to go ahead and start out. Give it a grind. Boiled water, cold filtered water to 212 degrees, and the water is actually cooling down for us now.
Same reverse osmosis water.
Exactly.
High quality. None of that
Filtered water.
LA tap shit.
Basically the toilet water, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I don't even like to brush my teeth with it.
Set my coffee in. I'm tearing out. Pour until I get to 20 ounces. On the scale, it'll be 550 grams, which equals 550 milliliters. So
And the beans, and you grind them up, it smells so good.
yeah, it's just the aromatics in coffee, I think, are some of the best. So I'm going to pour right down the middle. Try to get as many of the grounds saturated as possible. Basically, I want to wait. The moment I started pouring water in, I timed it, and basically when I get to a minute, I want to break the crust, move the grounds around a little bit. It's 45 seconds.
Kind of like steeping it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really simple way too, right? There's basically, I'm going to touch the coffee one more time, and from there it's going to be pretty much ready to drink.
And that is like a stir stick? Are you skimming stuff off?
Yeah, this is a stir stick. So I'm going to basically get the stick down. I don't want to like too aggressively mix the grinds, but just kind of just enough so that the crust breaks. On top. And now we just wait till we get to 4 minutes.
And while we're waiting to do that, now would be a good time to go to sugosunday.com and get some of the Sugo Sunday merch. Ryan, get on the computer.
I'd want one.
Yeah, for sure. We'll hook it up.
So we've just hit 4 minutes. Nice and easy. I'm just going to go ahead and press the plunger down, push the coffee.
And can you push that down too fast or too slow?
No,
or just
it's more on the strength of the device, and so I like to kind of just ease it down, not press too hard. The nice ones will go down smooth.
Yeah.
I think like the more inexpensive French presses, they give you a little bit of resistance as you go down.
Is this like the Ferrari of French press or what?
This is a nice one.
Yeah, it is a nice one.
It's made in Japan.
The
And
Japanese.
so Japanese glass, Japanese metal.
Japanese, yeah, the knives. I have some Japanese knives.
Those are the
like
samurai
butter.
swords.
Yeah, I'm gonna start cooking with them.
You don't even need to touch. You just slice on
For real.
view.
Wow.
So you can definitely tell, as opposed to the pour over method, a lot more solid.
Yep.
It's a little bit more murkier.
Yeah, for sure.
However,
you can see in the
just,
color of it too.
It's a stronger cup
Still,
of coffee.
yeah, still great. This is the same beans.
Same beans as the first round, the Layo Taraga.
So good.
Pretty simple, you know.
Yeah. This is definitely more
The
accessible.
reason why a lot of people use French press.
Yeah, because you don't need those fancy machines. Literally, a blender, some great beans from La Mill, and you're off to the races. Okay, guys. Well, while we enjoy our coffee, that's the end of the video. If you have any questions you have for Craig, if you want to write them in the comment section, or If you want to go over to lamillecoffee.com and get some beans delivered to your house today, do it. Highly suggest it. I will be doing it. Ryan will be doing it. He already does it. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll be back with another episode. I think we have some ideas in the works, but definitely got to do some cocktails and coffee infused drinks because I'm a big espresso martini fan.
Well, that'll be the next party.
Perfect. Thanks for watching, guys. Ciao.
Cheers.